Good evening and welcome to this session of the live learning classes conducted by the Board of Studies of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So we start a new topic today, that is prospectus and allotment of securities, which is possibly a very interesting topic. And before I start or jump into the topic, let's see who's here. And so we have Ishan, Sudhanshu, Darshan is there, welcome. And Jasprit, of course, and we have Navanithan, okay, a lot of Manav, Sachin. Welcome, sir, all of you, and those of you who have not put in a greeting but still there, to all of you, hi. And Jasprit asked a question about, thank you for those kind words about Guru and all that. Thank you very much. And see, unfortunately, Jasprit ji, you are from Punjab. So you have Kaur, maybe you have a surname also, I don't know, Jasprit Singh, whatever, Jasprit Ahora, Jasprit, whatever. So we in South do not have such surnames. Instead, we have simply Srikant, and then we have something called initial, which is a sort of before our name, we add our father's name. So my S stands for my father, Mr. Sridharan. He is my father. He is also a chartered accountant. Sridharan, SRWDHRN, Sridharan, Srikant. So that's it, nothing else. My father has one more letter before his name, P. That is for our native village in Tamil Nadu, in a small village in Tamil Nadu called Palasur, from where my grandfather moved to Chennai. So that is P. Then when my mother admitted me in school, that P was removed. And I have only S, Srikant. That is my father's name, Sridharan and Srikant. And that's how we don't have surnames. So, and that's going to be a major problem, okay? Because nowadays, whether you want a DIN or an Aadhaar or whatever, you need a surname. So technically, my surname would be Sridharan or Srikant. It depends how I give it. So usually I'll give Srikant, yes. So many times I'll get a letter from somebody saying, Dear Mr. S. That's about it. So, or somebody will Sridharan. So they'll say, Dear Mr. Sridharan. My father had an even greater problem. So he will give Sridharan Venkatesan Palasur. That will be my grandfather's name. And Palasur would be my native village. And so my father and my mother has told me many times, for example, when they're traveling abroad in Frankfurt and all, they'll be calling out my father's name is Palasur. Mr. Palasur, where are you? Like that. So that's how it is. Anyway, just a small introduction. And very proud that you are from Punjab. My greetings. And all of us, even every place, for example, Kerala, you'll find most people carry their Tharavada or their family names. Same case with Andhra also. You'll find their Tharavada name or in Andhra, it will be family name. So on and so forth. It depends from wherever we go and all. Fantastic. Today we move on to prospectus and allotment of securities. Now, the whole advantage of the company form of organization is limited liability, one, and free transferability of shares. So this makes it easy for everybody to participate in the business of or business enterprise. Earlier only rich people who had family wealth could invest in a factory, building, etc. Today, thanks to this possibility, even a person with moderate wealth, can start a business, grow it, show good profits, and based on his profitability, get a valuation, go for a public issue of shares. So today we are going to talk about that. We are going to talk about how a prospectus is issued to the public and then how allotment of securities happens. Yeah. See, I would like to start the topic today and not do MCQ. Abhi to nahi, I won't do that. If today permits, I will do it. Otherwise, at the end of this session, I will do. I've already uploaded 2 assignments in incorporation. 2 assignments. Tomorrow, I will upload 1 more assignment in preliminary also. And so together, we will possibly take it up in a future session or tomorrow, if possible. So now, let us not think. If possible, show us a sample prospectus. My dear friend, prospectus is a huge, humongous document. If I start showing it here, you'll get only confused. My suggestion, go through my lecture, go through my PowerPoint, Download a prospectus. Recently, Tata Technologies is coming out with an IPO. Tata Technologies. Download it and go through it. Okay. Here, if I show, it will be huge and beyond the scope of your syllabus. There is no need for, if I show that entire thing, it will be in small print. Believe me, you download a prospectus and see it. Nothing, and no great fun in looking at it also. Rather, you understand the principles and concepts that I'm teaching here. Then you can download. Just go to Google and put Tata Technology Prospectus. It will be there. Download it. It will run into about 80, 100 pages. Go through it. Then nothing. Most of it would be only stuff that we are going to see in this. Whatever is stated here, it will be given there. That is all. Okay. Otherwise, there is no need. By going through a prospectus, you will gain nothing in this class. What you can do out of your own interest is download a prospectus, go through it. If you have a doubt, send a query to the Board of Studies and I will definitely answer it for you. I understand, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but that is how it can be done. In this class, see what I am going to teach you today is the law, the fundamental, the concept. So thereafter, you can, once you go there, you can always get into it. Okay. It's a template. Just like balance sheet schedule 3 format, it's a template. There's nothing great about it. One more thing, you will never have to draft a prospectus in your life. If you are drafting, then you are wasting your time, because that is the job for our poor company secretaries and for the category 1 merchant banker to do. It's your job would be more. You would be the CFO, hopefully, who would be handling the entire thing, okay, of which prospectus is one aspect, right? Of course, if you want detailed experience in that, then you should get into that, and you should, that takes time. When you, once you complete your CA, then you will come there, then you will do all that practically. Right now, understand what is this prospectus, who issues it, when is it issued, what are the salient features, what should be in that prospectus, etc., etc. Okay, good. So this is contained in chapter 3 of the Companies Act 2013. We are going to see not only prospectus but also allotment of securities also, right? This chapter consists of 2 parts. Part 1, public offer. Part 2, private placement. Okay, friends, I hope that all of you are here and everybody who's ready for the class are with me and listening to me. So now I'm going to make a very important point. Listen to me carefully, because I've noticed that many students have this doubt. Somewhere in the middle of prospectus session, they will ask me. So now itself I'm clarifying. Only public company can go for public offer. Private company cannot go for public offer. Got it? Only public company. As we saw the definition, a company which is not a private company. Only that company can go for public offer. Why? Because a private company, by its articles, has prohibited any invitation to the public for shares in or debentures of the company. So the definition of private company is public offer is prohibited. That being the case, private company cannot go for public offer. But which means private company cannot be a listed company. Private company cannot be a listed company. Now, immediately some of you will jump at me. I know. Sir, there are some cases where you will be seeing it also, where debentures are issued by private placement, by a private company. But under the SEBI guideline, it needs to be listed. It won't be traded. It will be listed. Okay. Only for the purpose of that. In those cases, that part alone would be listed, but the private company will not be called as listed company, merely because some debt instrument is being listed. But equity of a private company will never be listed. Please get it very clearly. Sometimes non-convertible debentures, they are compulsorily listable. They have to list. That again is only listing. They cannot be publicly traded. No offer will be made to the public, etc. The placement will be done through private placement only. I want you to get this very clear. See, this is the fundamental point. Don't get confused on this. Merely because a private company debentures are listed doesn't mean that it is public. It has made a public offer. private company cannot make a public offer. If you want to make a public offer, what you should do? 23. You should convert yourself into a public company, remove the prohibition, etc. in the article, etc. Amend your articles thoroughly so that you are now complying with rules applicable to public company, and then, only then, you can go for public offer. Okay. So I'm making this, you know why I'm making this point, where again, some of you might even get irritated with me for repeating something that you think is very obvious. Don't think so. So many times, over the last since pandemic, I've been taking these classes, this is possibly my third or fourth session of intermediate. Invariably, one student will ask, sir, how about private listed companies? Nothing. It is impossible. How is it possible? Not possible. Okay. Public company only can be listed company. Private company cannot be listed company. Okay. And prospectus will be issued only by public company. Private placement, what does it mean? It will be my unfortunate duty and your unfortunate duty, Sudhanshu, to listen. Not now. Last, section 42. After you have completed 23 to 41, I will come to 42 now. At that time, I will clearly tell you what is private placement. Don't worry. As the name implies, as a general understanding, what does it mean? Public offer means I'm making an open offer, not an offer. I'm making an open announcement to the whole world, to the public of Indian public, to everybody who is an Indian, to apply for my shares. Everybody, anybody, any Tom, Dick or Harry can come and apply. Whereas, listen to me, Sudhanshu, in private placement, you have to address specific letters to named people. See, you can't give a notice. You have to send a letter or a mail to a named person. And there is a limit also. We will see all that. 200, all that is there. You can't go to everybody and anybody. Exact number of people, that too, it should be named people whom by name you have to address and you have to make an offer. Okay, only then it is called private placement. You got it? So, that is the thing. So, we'll come to that, don't worry. When we come to private placement, I will teach you in detail what is private placement, how it is done. Public company, listen to me now carefully, watch my mouth. Public company can also go for private placement. Nothing prevents. A public company need not always go for prospectus. A public company can go for private placement. Many companies have gone. Initially, many companies have gone for raising funds. Initial stages, public company also can go. Such companies are called closely held or public companies. Whereas once they go for public offer, they give shares to the public, they become listed, then they become widely held. In the Income Tax Act, you might have studied companies in which the public are substantially interested. Companies in which the public are substantially interested. Those cases, the listed companies will come in that category. Okay. Correct. Just believe this correct. You should go right where it is. That's how it should be. I have done it for many. Easily, 3 of my clients have converted themselves from private to public, then gone for private placement, then increased the pay capital, got a better valuation, then they have gone for public issue, which was the last stage. So it's not as if tomorrow in India, today we will form a company and day after tomorrow we can go for public issue. Rare cases. Who can do that? Reliance Group can do, Tata can do, Wipro can do. You know why? Because there the promoter is a well-known group. Well-known group, already proven track record. They are coming with a new company. Like for example, your Tata Technologies Limited. So you can form a company and within 6 months you can go public because it is in the Tata group. So there the promoter is a group which is well-known. Only in those cases you can do. Otherwise, if you start a new company today, don't come day after tomorrow to me and say, sir, can I go for public issue? I'll tell you what, you can. Nobody is going to prevent you. But if you know the cost of a public issue, printing, advertisement, merchant banker fees, auditor fees, everything, if you put it together, it's a huge amount. What valuation are you going to get? If it is worth it, you go, otherwise don't. So first year or second year of operation, without any profit track record, if you go, you are out. That is why even SEBI has prescribed minimum 5 years track record. Out of which 3 years should have been profit. Okay. So if you don't have a profit track record, you can. Okay, good. Now, so Private placement is like WhatsApp, which is available with our nose, but public is like, I've agreed. If you want to give such an example, I'm not against it. Exactly. In a way, maybe you're right. See, when you post something in, I think, Jasprit, you have made a very beautiful comparison. You have given a very nice metaphor. Okay. You have given a very nice metaphor. That is, WhatsApp is private. Meaning, when you send a message on WhatsApp, it's to your contacts. People who are on your contact list only can be accessed through WhatsApp. Moreover, there is a limit on the number of contacts you can have in a group in WhatsApp. Right? You can't go more than that. 1, 2. When you post your something in Facebook on a post, then that is public. Your friends can see if you are opening it. Even friends of friends, even others totally unconnected can see. So that becomes a public offer. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Okay. Darshan is asking a question. If I waste my time, maybe Ritik will get angry with me. So I'm like the father, son, and the ass. I have to be very careful. But still to answer Darshan, no, sir, I have not drafted. But I have vetted. VETTED, vetted. That is, usually, Baba, prospectus will be drafted, but not by you and me. It is already drafted. Huge templates are available. All we do is we simply change it a little. That's all. The standard format is readily available. Nobody will start on day one with a blank Word document and start drafting prospectus, Baba. Already prospectus format is there. Maybe an earlier format that we have used and all. We keep changing it. We will keep changing it. Once we will vet it, and then we'll ensure that it is compliant with the current law, and we'll take it to the, that's about it. That I have done. But from scratch, with a blank Word document, start prospectus. Boss, I'm not God here. Nobody can do it. No, nobody can do it. But believe me, if your goal is to become a member of my institute and a CFO of a large company, believe me, no way you are ever going to draft a prospectus. At best, what you will do is you will get the prospectus. You may have to go through it once, thoroughly, read it once, to see to it that your company's data is given correctly and that your details are correctly given and that they are factually correct. That is your job. Other than that, the legalese of it, some lawyer will take care. Merchant banker is there, that category 1 merchant banker will be seeing. That fellow's job, he's getting money for it only. Okay, why pay a dog and bark? That fellow will do everything. All you need to do is see that your data is correctly given. That's all. So understand what your role is first before you get into this. Decide what is your role. Your role is not to draft. Drafting will be done by somebody. Don't worry. You have to go through it. That is why I'm saying after my class, if you're so keen on knowledge, I will not prevent you for your thirst of knowledge. Go download Tata Technologies and start going through it. After 5th page, you will go to sleep and then you will decide maybe I done the wrong thing. Boss, when you are paid for it, all the interest will come here. Till then, it won't. Otherwise, it will be simply boring. Chalo, now. So, one more quick wrap up of these thoughts. Issue of securities, public company. These are the modes by which securities can be issued. What do you mean by issue? In the last class, we saw authorized capital. That is the maximum number of shares that the company can issue, nominal or authorized capital. Now, out of those shares, the company is making an announcement that it is willing to allot a certain number of shares. That is called issued capital. Means it is telling the public or to a certain group of people privately, boss, our company is there, this is our thing. We are having authorized capital of so much. Out of that, we are proposing to allot 5 lakh shares. In case you are interested, send your application. This information, what I have told in a very simple way, is called prospectus. That's all. We are sending an invitation to the public to apply for shares. Okay, that is called prospectus. That is one method, prospectus through public offer. Public offer can be in 3 methods. 1, IPO. I'm sure you know that. Initial public offer. Write it down somewhere. If you got a notebook, kitab or something, kalam hai na, likh kar dijiye, please. Write it down. Initial public offer. Then FPO means already the company has gone for an IPO. It is now a listed company. Such a listed company is making further public offer. further public offer. It is offering further shares to the public. Okay. This is further public offer. Don't confuse it with rights issue. Right issue is, I'll come to that a little later. FPO, further public offer. To totally, not to these shareholders, to the public, to everybody. Okay. To the whole world again. Second round or third round, whatever. Further. Finally, you have OFS. We'll be seeing this. OFS we'll be seeing. There's a section for that, which is offer, OFFER, offer for sale. OFS, offer for sale. That is, think about it. You are the promoter of a company. You are having 60% stake in that company. 40% is held by some investors and institutions, etc. Now you want to go for a public issue. Now, when you are doing that, boss, you have been running this company for 5 years. You have built it. It has got a fantastic valuation now. Initially, when you got those shares, you got it at 10 rupees. Then maybe later you paid, you also paid a premium, 30 rupees. So your cost of acquisition for that 60% is 30 rupees per share. Today, for the public issue, the merchant banker has given you a very, very conservative valuation for your company. It's a 350 rupees per share. Fantastic. You've done a great job. Your business is doing well. So based on DCF valuation, based on intrinsic valuation, you're getting. So based on PE valuation in the current market scenario, it would be much more. So finally, his averaged it out and said, sir, 600, 200, whatever it is, 350, I can give you valuation. Means he's saying, if you price these shares at 350 in the public issue, chances are public will subscribe. So you are happy 350. But that 350, who is going to get? Company is going to get. Now, when you go for an IPO, who will get? The company will get. Because the company will issue the share and allot. When the company issues the shares and allot, you know the journal entries. Now, it will come to the company only. Now. So, company will debit share application money account data to share capital. Then bank account data to share application money is straight away gone. Now, so where is the question of you? What is there for you? That is offer for sale. Along with the IPO, the promoters also will offer their shares at the same price. Your share, na, you already allotted share, hai na, aapke paas. That you will offer. So the public will be clearly known that some portion of these shares I'm buying are not from allotment, but from promoter who is selling to me. The entire thing will be handled by the merchant banker. The same rules and regulations applicable to prospectus apply to OFS also. It will be combined. It will be an initial public offer and OFS. Many times the promoters do this. This is called exit route for promoter and also for investor. After all, see, the PE funder invested in your company. When he invested, he paid 100 rupees premium, possibly. You paid 30 and came in. It's the second, third round when you invested along with friends and relatives. You yourself had to pay a premium for your company. Subsequently, when you went for PE funding, private equity funding, meaning these are investors. They want to just make money on IRR. So they invested. They are waiting for 3 years for you to perform. Now the market is doing well. So they say, chalo, let us go for a public issue. At that time, OFS will be there. In that OFS, you and the PE funder together will offload some portion of your shares. Not entirely. Promoter cannot entirely offload. No. So some portion, 10%, 20%, he will offload. That will be a good money for him. Something. That is how many entrepreneurs, when they create a company, brand and all, one round they will get, and that will be that's how Bill Gates, Azim Premji, they made their money. Generally, OFS is not given separately. But if you are asking me, can it not be given? It can be given. Means one person who is giving OFS separately is the government of India. Why I make this point? The government of India, the central government, is the shareholder in many Bharat Ratna and big companies. I'm sure you know that. So what is it? Not Bharat Ratna. What is it? Some big companies are there. Okay, the Navratna companies and all that. So those companies' main shareholder is our friend, the Indian government, the central government. So when the central government makes these companies into listed companies, at that time, they didn't go for IPO. They went for offer. They said, I am having share, now you take it. That was called disinvestment. So it is not unknown for OFS to be done alone. But see, when promoter, without IPO, if an OFS is coming, generally not. This is all choices. There is no rules. But if you are asking, can it be done? It can. But is it usually done? No, sir. Invariably, because when the IPO is there and OFS is there, it goes together well. Separate OFS, it will be seen suspicious because fellows trying to offload his shares. What is he doing like that? Okay. So only cases where I have seen this happening is this Navaratnas and Maharatnas or whatever. There the government of India has, because already money is there. The government just wants to encash its investment. So in those cases, they may do this and government will get the money directly. Government as the owner of the share will get it. Okay. I know I am giving you possibly a lot of inputs that are not very relevant from the point of view of the topic. But if you know it, your appreciation will be better. Understanding will be better. That's all. Chalo. So prospectus. Another is private placement. Public company can also go for private placement. See, why always go for prospectus route? Suppose there's a good agent and he says, don't worry, I will get you money. How much you want? 20 crores. I will get it through private placement. Done. Go. Cheap. Finish it. Another is rights issue. Now, immediately don't put a query saying what is rights issue. I will teach rights issue when we come to share capital and debentures. It will be my unfortunate duty to teach you and your unfortunate duty to listen. It is a complicated section which we will see when we come to share capital and debentures. It is basically a right of the existing shareholders to be offered the shares when they are being issued. So if I start now, we will unnecessarily go into a tangential area. No need. We will stick to prospectus today. But when we come to share capital and debentures, 100% this fellow will teach you. Don't worry about it. Same way bonus issue also. I will teach you. Okay. So don't worry about it. It will be taught in share capital and debentures. Sir, on that day, I may not be able to attend the class, sir. No problem. See the video. That's all. Whenever you are free, download the video and mask my face, listen to my voice and look at the PowerPoint and learn. Okay. Why should you look at my ugly face? You don't have to. Chalo. Good. What does private placement mean in public company? Baba, don't get misled by the word private. The idea is, I will not go for an announcement of shares to the public. I will simply send, for example, I'll tell you, there are some investing group called Qualified Institutional Buyer, QIP, Qualified Institutional Buyer. These are all big NBFCs and institutions, banks, etc. They have a lot of money. Now, what we do, we don't go to the Indian public. Why go to those bakras? We go to these guys. We send a letter to them. We are a public company. We send a letter. We're saying we are coming out to the public. We want money. This is our project. This is our thing. Everything will be there. We will give all the details. Please value us. They will do their own valuation. They will do their own valuation. Each of these institutions will do. Then finally, there may be even a bidding process. Then finally, they say, we are willing to take so many shares at so many price. Finally, we will come out and say, look here, sir, we want you to take this. This is the price. So negotiated. Then finally, they'll say, chalo. So about 10 or 15 people, privately, we will allot shares. Total value will be 20 crore. My problem solved now. Why go to all these bakras, printing costs, go and beg them and all that. Why all that? Single shot, I have finished my need now. I need 20 crores. How I get to? So why should I go only for public issue? I can go for private placement also. Okay. Okay, Keshav, don't do this. What did I say? Rights issue, I will take it up later. Did you hear me? Or shall I repeat it? Baad mein, later, abhi nahi. Got it, Keshav? Not today. In that class, this question you ask, I will answer. Okay? At that time, I will definitely answer you. Abhi nahi. Okay? Yes, all of us are beautiful in our own way. Totally agree. But I'm just, for humor's sake, I'm saying, why look at my face? What you need is the content. Chalo. Now the word security is important in this context because what is being offered to the public is called security. Right? So the word security is defined here. How They say, what is the definition given in the Securities Contract Regulation Act definition is given here. They say section 2 subsection 81 read with section 2H. Why? Because 281 simply says security, refer to the definition given in SCRA, Securities Contract Regulation Act definition. That is 2H of SCRA. That definition, security includes shares, scrips, bonds, stocks, debentures, debenture stock, or other marketable securities. Okay. What did Mayur Gupta get? Where did Mayur Gupta ask any question? 1 second. Suddenly, okay. Chalo, no problem. Okay, good. Now, market and our other marketable securities. Now, share, you know the meaning. I don't want to waste your time. Scrip, another name for sharing. Scrip. Are you able to understand? When they refer to in newspapers and all, Reliance, they won't say share. They'll say scrip. Same. Scrip, share, one and the same. No thing. Bond. See, debt instrument, any debt instrument is called a bond. When any entity issues a security which is in the nature of a debt, it is called bond. In India, we have two terms. Bonds, we have debentures. Means, bonds in India are referring to debt instruments issued by Government of India, financial institution, bank, etc. When they issue, it is called bond. So we have treasury bonds and all that. Whereas when companies issue debt instrument, it is called debenture. In India, if you go to US, you will not hear the word debenture. If you use the word debenture if you mention the word debenture to a US or European attorney or accountant, he'll say, what is a debenture? Maybe UK fellow will understand because it's basically a British concept. But all over the world today, we don't use the word debenture. We prefer to use the word bond. See, so a debenture, listen to me carefully, a debenture is a corporate bond. A debenture is a bond issued by a company. So, but then in India, we still prefer to use the word debenture because Indian public, if you use the word bond, they will confuse it not with James Bond, but with treasury bond. That is government bond. So in India, when we use the word bond, it always means debt instrument issued by government, state government, central government, financial institution, government corporation. Corporations will issue bonds. So for example, Mumbai Corporation will issue a bond. Okay. So basically, debt raised by government is called bond, whereas other types are called debentures. Also, when banks and financial institutions issue debt, they call it bond. So you will have IDBI bond, ICICI bond, and LIC bond. Whereas when you come to company, Reliance Industries got debenture. Same. The terms and conditions are the same, etc., etc., etc. Same concept here. There's a coupon rate. You studied all that in finance, yeah. Coupon rate will be there, maturity will be there, value. It may be issued at a discount. In India, we don't. We issue it at par, redeem it at par. Whereas abroad, many bonds are issued at discount and redeemed at par, etc., etc. Okay, so basically, ultimately, it is matter of IRR or yield to maturity, as we call it. So bonds. Whereas debentures also work on that principle. Right. So debenture is a corporate bond. Stocks. Now I come to you. You will keep on asking me and I'll keep on telling you. But once I'm telling you, listen to me. This is not important. In India, no company has issued stocks. Kya hai stocks? Simple. You are trading in shares of Reliance Industries now. The volume is so high that if you buy 1 share, 2 share, 5 share, 10 share, no. At a time, you want to trade fast. You want to trade in lots, meaning 100 shares of Reliance, one shot. So what Reliance can do, instead of having 1, 2, 3 share, they can combine 100 shares. They can consolidate 100 shares into one stock. 100 shares. Reliance has not done it. No company has done it. Watch my mouth. No company in India has done it. Okay, if you know, I don't know any example. If you know, I'll be happy to learn from you. But because nobody does it. But the facility is there in the act. You will be seeing it when you come to share capital and debentures. Under the Companies Act, a company can consolidate its shares into stocks, convert its shares into stocks and stocks into shares. Facility is there. Stock means a bundle of shares. Are you able to understand this? Stock is bundle of shares. Why is it done? For convenience of trading in the stock market. So once I combine 100 shares of Reliance into one stock, then when I buy one stock, I'm buying 100. When I sell one stock, I'm selling 100. Dividend also will be paid on 100, units of 100. This is not being done in India, but it is there. Facility is there. Okay, same way debenture stock. What is debenture stock? Just like shares are consolidated, debentures are converted into stock. So 10 debentures together will become one stock, one debenture stock. That's all. It is meant for easy trading. Okay. Now, have you understood stock? Have you understood stock? Because the word stock will be used regularly. And some of you may be asking, sir, what is stock? What is stock? I have explained it to you. What is stock? Not important from exam point of view, not important from real life point of view also. Okay. So please don't waste your time again. What is stock? What is stock? In India, we have shares. We have debentures. Means you can buy one share of Reliance. You can buy one debenture. No problem. Okay. Thank you for confirming that you have understood. I hope everybody has understood. Chalo. Then we have derivatives, units of collective investment scheme, mutual fund units, security receipt under surface. All these you don't have to worry. Just definition is there. That is all. For us, what is important is security includes shares, debentures. The word security is wide enough to include shares and debentures. Debenture is also a security. Note it. This is further definition under the SCRA, special purpose, distinct entity when it issues a certificate, government securities. See, government securities are also conclude under security. Such other instruments as may be declared by settler. Right or interest in securities. For example, see, when you come to rights, I will explain to you, but the right to buy the share of a company is a security. The right to buy a share of the company is a security. That right can be traded. When we come to rights issue, I will explain in more. Aya, I gave one example of 100, 1000 also can become 1. Boss, don't do this, Vaishali ji. I gave one example of 100. That's all. 10 can become 1. It is your choice. How you will do it is your choice. Okay. Only 100 share. No, I gave the example I have to give. Now, so I gave 100. 1000, 1, 10,000. You decide 10, whatever. You have understood? Okay, good. Now we go on to the topic for the day, which is prospectus. Prospectus is defined in section 2, subsection 70. Before we go there, let us understand why are they controlling this a lot? Because when you issue a prospectus, and whenever I say you, I mean the company, etc. When the company issues the prospectus, what is their goal? What is their goal? To generate money from the public, to raise money from the public. Now, when they want to raise money from the public, that too at a premium, they will tell truth or lie. When they want to raise money from the public, that too at a premium, they will tell truth or lie. Ideally, they should tell the truth. But they will want to tell a lie. May not be a lie. They may want to tell Ardha Satya, meaning half truth. So, about themselves. So, simple. I will give another example. Looking for a bride for a boy. We are looking for a bride for a boy. Now, we will describe that boy. Now, for my when for my daughter, I was trying for an alliance in matrimony.com. I used to read so many such, groom ka description. They will give all sorts of Ardha Satya. Only when we go near and see the whole story, we will know. what that fellow is actually doing. So this type of descriptions, could be misleading. May not be outright lie, or sometimes it could be outright lie also. So the goal of this provision or this section or this chapter is to prevent companies and merchant bankers from telling lie when they are promoting the offer. They have to tell the truth. How to make them tell the truth? Simple. They said, look here, you are a company. You are making an offer to the public. The minute you issue a document which is described as a prospectus, any document issued or described as such is called a prospectus. The minute you send a piece of paper, kagas mein you say offer for say shares, prospectus, then that's it. It is a prospectus. And once you say it is a prospectus, it cannot be in any format that you want. It has to be strictly in accordance with the format given in the Act. Section 26 will give you elaborate rules and format. It should be in that format only. Thereby, once you go through the format, you will understand. You can't tell lies. In that format, they will catch you. Recently, one man comes to me. He is taking 25 lakhs from his father-in-law. He's saying, my company has got a valuation of 4,000 rupees per share. Sir, how long has your company been in existence? 2 years. What was your last year turnover? 1.3 crore, 1.7 crore. This year, how much? We are reaching 1.3, we will touch 2. Hey, last year 1.7, this year 2 crore. How you got valuation 4,600 per share? That and all you don't ask Mr. Srikanth. Because it is not a public issue. The same fellow, if he has to go for a public, gone. And then I asked him, have you got it valued by a merchant banker, category 1? He said, no. Go and get it done by a category 1 merchant banker. That is why they don't want valuation by chartered accountant. I'm sorry to say this. It's unfortunate that we have got this thing where today either it has to be done by a registered valuer. For company law, it should be by a registered valuer. For SEBI, it should be by a category 1 merchant banker. For income tax, category 1 merchant banker. Of course, they are also only a member of our institute will do because technically only we are competent to do it. But unfortunately, a practicing CA, in those days, I could sign on a valuation without any further becoming a registered valuer or category 1 and all. Just CA could sign, but now, no. They say, sorry, sir, you get it from category 1 merchant bank. So that such valuations are very strict. They can't, because tomorrow his license will be cancelled. That is the problem. So, let me be very careful. So that there is a rigid control on what can be stated in a prospectus, especially regarding the prospects of the company, the future of the company. You have to make statements that are factual or verifiable. If you are stating an opinion, then you have to mention it in the risk factor. You have to say the future profitability statements given by the promoters are based on an assessment which could be risky. Like that you have to give. So that anybody reading the prospectus will read this also now. So he'll be alerted. Right? But that's it. Beyond that, we have no duty to that ultimate shareholder. See, once he reads the prospectus, he makes his own opinion, he buys. But as far as possible, the document calling itself a prospectus should be factual and should give correct facts. If anything is given which is an opinion or which is based on some futuristic estimate, it will be clearly told. This is based on futuristic estimates. We reasonably foresee that it will happen, but no guarantee is given. So that the guy buying it should know. Remember, most of the valuations for public issue that you are getting today are based either on estimate of future profitability or on price at which comparable companies are being traded in the market. That's all. It's either intrinsic valuation or relative valuation. Intrinsic is based on future profitability discounted today, find out. Relative valuation is find out similar companies which are listed, what price are they traded, then use some multiple, ideally a PE multiple, to say, hey, these guys have got an EPS of so much, they've got a price of so much. Our friend has got EPS of so much, so his price should be ideally so much. Something like that. So That is how we do. Definitely risky. No guarantee. That has to be mentioned in the document. Okay. Also, the word prospectus includes red herring prospectus. I will explain to you in detail when we come to section 32. A little bit you have to hold on. Section 32, when I come, I will. Similarly, shelf prospectus. When I come to 31, I will tell you what is a shelf prospectus. Okay. Also, they say prospectus includes any notice, circular, advertisement, or other document inviting offer from public. Anything you say notice, circular, advertisement, other document, white or other document, inviting offer from public for subscription of shares. The minute you are saying these shares are available, make an offer or send an application, that document should be, it is a prospectus and should be in the format given in the act. In a way, Manav is telling like giving dividend out of capital profit and telling only about the dividend, not about the source. Correct. Though it's a very, very thin line we are going there. What type of capital profit, notional or real, received in cash? But as you rightly say, Manavji, if you are giving dividend out of capital, it should be informed to the gentleman, hey, this dividend is being given out of sale of asset. Profit earned on sale of asset. This may not happen every year. Now you understand? That should be clearly stated in the prospectus. That the profit for the year so-and-so includes capital profit of so-and-so arising from sale of unit undertaking. So intelligent man reading it will form his own opinion about it. Believe me, many times, not many times, whenever I hear of an IPO, I read the prospectus. Not entirely. The important points are there where I go, especially the projections. And then I take out, if it's a new company, then I have no other source of finding out. So I go, but I do my own calculation. I do my own valuation. I have my own assessment. And finally, I come out with my valuation. If I find it is undervalued, I buy. Rarely have I seen an IPO undervalued. Rare. Why rare? Impossible. IPOs are always overvalued. I can even go ahead. So it makes no sense to buy in an IPO. The classic example is LIC IPO. Such a big hype was made and all. And pricing was so high. Then the market corrected itself and brought it to where it is. So it has come to a stage where I feel better not even go near an IPO. If that company is doing very well and the price starts going up, chalo yaar, we buy 5 rupees more, 10 rupees more in the open market. If at all it is so worth, believe me, most of the IPOs that are now coming are useless companies, not worth buying. I'm telling you. They are all opportunist issues where these guys have been running. They always want an exit option. They're using this market momentum. See, currently the market is doing well. This is when all these worms will come out of the woodwork and they will start promoting and issuing publics. This is possibly not the time to buy IPO. If I say that, you'll all laugh because from now on only IPO season is going to start. From now on only IPO season is going to start. So many IPOs are going to come. People are going to buy blindly. And for all you know, the market momentum will take these shares up. The market momentum will take these shares up. And they will be able to, you will be seeing some small profit also. But not a good idea. This is my view, nothing to do with the topic. So, giving dividend or a yes, that's a good, nice, very nice point. Darshan says, anyone applying for shares of a company are presumed to have the knowledge of the prospectus. Presumed. You're absolutely correct, my dear friend. Presumed. Doctrine of constructive notice. I made a public issue now. I made a public offer now. I published it now. It is there in the SEBI website. It is there in the NSE website. It is there in the Stock Exchange website. If you want, I will give you a copy. My company website is having so many opportunities this gentleman had to look at the prospectus. Now, how can he say, I have not seen it? No way. Absolutely correct. All the information written in any prospectus are according to this section. Are, see, please, English is a very treacherous language. You are using the word are reliable and true. I am saying, according to this section, all statements, information given in a prospectus should be reliable and true. Please note the words I am using. According to this section, all the information written in any prospectus should be reliable and true. Should be. Who will check whether it is reliable and true? That is the job of SEBI. SEBI is there, Securities and Exchange Board of India. That fellow, he will have assistant directors and all that. They will go through it and they will point out this is not supported. They'll ask you to correct it. So many times I have done that work. If you ask me whether I have done it, yes, I have done that unfortunate job. Yes, I used to, because early stages of my career, I was what to do something, anything I will do. And unlike many of you, I never had any specialization and all. I was available, coolie work, any work I will do. If you tell me to do prospectus, I will do prospectus. If you tell me to do this, I will do that. Anything. So long as I can build a practice, earn a livelihood, eat 3 square meals a day, I was happy to do anything. Nowadays, you gentlemen and ladies talk about specialization and all. Those days, we did not have the luxury of such conversations. We had to feed our belly. So, and one more thing, a chartered accountant should be capable of doing anything. After all, what is there? So I used to do this also. Luckily, because in a way, I had some additional knowledge in company law. So merchant bankers used to hire me to, vet the prospectus and register it with the ROC. That was my job. SEBI, they will take care. SEBI, they will take care. ROC was my job. We will see that will come to. Registration with the ROC and getting ROC registration was my job. So I used to do like that. At the time, I will also go through the process, because just like SEBI will make comments now, ROC also will make comments. He will say this is wrong, that is wrong, correct this. So it will be like a game. So SEBI also, the file will be waiting. ROC also file waiting. Then finally SEBI will clear it. And the next day ROC has to clear, because we have to go for public issue. The cost is very high. I can't keep on delaying. Every day the cost will go. So I had to go. So that was my job, was to keep this prospectus, ready. Once SEBI clears it, that version will be given to the ROC. ROC will go finally once. Most of it will be correct. Thereafter, ROC will not have any major, because already he would have pointed out his views. I would have corrected it. And finally, he will approve it. And that day evening or next day morning, I will get that registration certificate. My job is over. I'll get my payment and run away. So this was my job. That I used to do for about 5 years. I was doing. So just for your information. Okay. No. Please don't bother about the English. Why I am said English is, please improve your English. That is always good. I am continuously improving my English. I am continuously improving my English. See, in Tamil Nadu, we have a quotation said, the law, what we have learned is only this much. Okay, the little bit of sand in the palm of my hand. Little bit of sand in the palm of my hand. Whereas what I have not learned is as big as the universe. That is what we say in Tamil Nadu. So what I know, which is why the goddess, Saraswati, the goddess of learning, she will always be depicted with books. If next time you see a picture of Saraswati, you just check out. She will be having in her hand pustaka. She will be having in her hand books. She will be reading. Why? Because even the goddess of learning accepts what I know is only a handful of sand, whereas what I do not know is an ocean. So she accepts it. If the goddess of learning herself says, this is all, I am my ordinary mortal like me. Continuously, all of us have to make improvement in our knowledge. Okay, so that you do. Why I made that point? Because you have used the word are. Now, that would mean that fact. I can't guarantee, there may be some fraudulent prospectus also. How do I know? It might have skipped SEBI and it might have skipped ROC and come. So that no guarantee. Okay, I don't know. Yeah. So then which doctrine will prevail over other doctrines? Notice or doctrine of interpretation, doctrine of interpretation. Depends on the circumstances of the case, madam. In this case of prospectus, 100% doctrine of constructive notice will apply. Meaning the guy cannot come and say, I didn't read the prospectus. No way. Or okay, and the usual exemptions of indoor management apply here also. For example, if one of the directors has applied for shares through the prospectus, he is aware of the false statement, he cannot claim doctrine of constructive notice. Are you able to understand? Because he would be a party, he is aware. So such a man, one who is aware of the irregularity, cannot claim misstatement because he himself is aware. So those exemptions to the doctrine will apply. Okay. But otherwise, constructive notice will be, indoor management will not apply. Okay. Of course, suppose in that prospectus there is some approval to be obtained, etc., etc. Then that approval, if it has been obtained, we have to assume that it is obtained. But there, believe me, suppose the prospectus says an approval is required for this purpose, and that approval has not been obtained as on the date of issue of prospectus, 100% SEBI will ask you to highlight it and say this project is dependent on receipt of no objection certificate from the Ministry of Energy or Department of Energy. This has not been obtained by the company and could, if not obtained, it could be a risk. You have to highlight it. You can't simply say we will obtain and all. If you say you are going to obtain, then this risk factor will automatically come, so that anybody reading it will know. So that way, SEBI will take extreme care, and the category 1 merchant banker himself will take extreme care, because tomorrow if there is any misstatement in the prospectus, once he has given his acceptance now, automatically his license will also be affected. So a lot of care is being taken in this matter is what my understanding is. கற்றது கையளவு கற்றது கைமண் அளவு கல்லாதது உலகளவு என உற்ற கலை மடந்தை ஓதுகிறார். That is the exact thing, and it is credited to a famous lady poet, Avvaiyar. Okay. So credited to a famous lady poet of Tamil Nadu. Her name is Avvaiyar. கற்றது கைமண் அளவு கல்லாதது உலகளவு என உற்ற கலை மடந்தை ஓதுகிறார். Okay. Thank you for quoting that particular poem. Good show. Moving on. Date indicated on prospectus is deemed to be the date of the prospectus. Just like, the company is incorporated with effect from the date of certificate of incorporation. Same way, the prospectus is deemed to have been issued on the date of mentioned in the prospectus. Prospectus not to be issued unless copy has been filed with the registrar for registration. So that is important. Before issuing prospectus, registrar has to register. This was my unfortunate job. I used to not, when I say unfortunate, I mean that was one job I used to do. I used to be paid for it, 1 lakh. Like that they will pay me something, So I used to do that. It was fun. When it was there, it was fun. Okay. I used to enjoy doing it. Then after some time, public issue itself stopped. That was a peak season, 90s, when public issue stopped. Then this whole thing became. Then I got into some other activities. I moved on. Like that. So, but then, what you should remember is, before prospectus is issued, it has to be filed with the registrar for registration. Prospectus to be signed by every person named therein as a director or proposed director. One more thing, everybody named as a director, proposed director, promoter, expert, etc., 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 should give their consent in writing. So this is very, very important, which is why the minute I start my job, I will tell, get all the consents, give me, check, everything is there. Only then I will go. So he will read through the prospectus and say, Srikant, so-and-so is named here. Where is the consent? So-and-so is named. Where is the consent? Take it. So registrar not to register unless all compliances are over. All compliances meaning, if he says this is SEBI has said something is to be changed, that also should be changed. He will, because registrar will take into account what SEBI is telling. But SEBI, see, now we come to a very, very, very gray area here. SEBI does not authorize the issue of prospectus. It is the registrar who authorizes the issue of the prospectus by registration. SEBI has nothing. SEBI is simply like, in Hindu marriages, that Mangal Sutra will be touched by everybody who is in that hall. Just to touch it and go, that's all. I am just as a matter of blessing we are doing, that's all. Nothing more than that. Okay, my connection gone. So SEBI will do exactly that. Nothing more. They will give you a lot of rigorous conditions. Change this, change that, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. Finally, touch it, go. Nothing. Very clearly, there will be a disclaimer in the prospectus. When Darshan is doing his research, after downloading the prospectus, look for this disclaimer. In prominent place, they will put it. SEBI does not authorize the issue of this prospectus. SEBI has nothing to do with this prospectus. Like that, you have to put a disclaimer very clearly. SEBI is only a watchdog. Okay. Simply there to see things are fine. That's all. SEBI cannot be caught. Tomorrow, you can, if any misstatement is there in the prospectus, you can't go to SEBI and catch them. They go to hell. You go to the promoter. If you want, you can catch the registrar, but not the promoter. I mean, not the SEBI. Expert. Okay. See what happens. Many statements in the prospectus would be technical statements. For example, technology would be a technology. See, we can say the company has got patents for so-and-so process, which is advanced. And this patent will be very useful because nobody else has it. This is a statement. Somebody has to certify it, boss. So only an engineer can do that. And that engineer will go through the patent. He will go through everything and say, yes, this process is patented process. That expert opinion will be enclosed because we are relying on that. See, the promoter is relying on that. Okay, for that. Similarly, valuation of land and building will be done by an engineer. Valuation of shares will be done by a chartered accountant. Applicability of company law and the availability of tax deduction, chartered accountant. Applicability of company law, company secretary, etc., etc. So some expert or the other will give his opinion. Now that expert, okay, means an engineer, a valuer, a chartered accountant, a company secretary, a cost accountant, and any other person who has the power or authority to issue a certificate in pursuance of any law for the time being in force. Okay. SEBI checks out whether the prospectus, see, I will not use the word right or wrong, Ms. Kushi. In fact, about 10 years ago, I stopped using the words right or wrong. In this case, SEBI will find out whether your prospectus is compliant or non-compliant. Whether, see, they will read the prospectus like a layperson. And they will say, if I am an ordinary human being like Srikanth, if ignorant fellow like Srikanth, if I read this, what will I understand? Is it truth? Then they will say, correct it. In such a way that an innocent fellow like Srikanth should not be cheated by you. This is the role of SEBI. Okay, for this they will take care. So there's no right or wrong here. See, you, boss, you see, I may think, for example, Mr. A is there. According to him, his son is a brilliant boy, right? But the result of that boy is showing something totally different. Okay, so what can I say? I will say, you mentioned that your boy is a brilliant boy, sir, no problem. But along with that, he also mentioned that he has written CA intermediate 4 times. That is a fact. That also you write. Then let the public decide whether the boy is brilliant or not. I'm giving an example. Don't mistake me. What I'm saying is, opinions are one thing, facts are another, right? So these opinions and facts have to be combined and given together is what SEBI will say, right? This is my understanding. The last 35 years of being in valuation, capital market, actively engaged in, capital market activities and all that. This is my understanding of what SEBI does. And it's a good job they are doing. No complaints. See, there are many investors, who will tell bad things about SEBI and all. I'll be the last man to do that. SEBI, but for SEBI, this will be even worse. Okay? Remember, SEBI is doing a good job. I was the secretary of the Tamil Nadu Investor Association. There is a body called Tamil Nadu Investor Association, possibly the second or third largest investor association in India. After, I think, Ahmedabad, Vadodara, then Tamil Nadu becomes the... So Tamil Nadu Investor Association secretary becomes an ex officio member of SEBI consultative boards. My president, Shyam Shekhar, was also in the board by ex officio. Because I'm secretary, I'll be there. So like that, I have found SEBI to be very fair and reasonable. They're not doing anything. To my knowledge, there is no fraud there. There is nothing there. See, in spite of that, the public issues are being subscribed for. You believe that fellow's story and still, in spite of risk, you are putting your money. It is your call. Chalo. Expert, very, very important. Expert to be a person who is not and has not been engaged, interested in the formation, promotion, management of the company. Obviously, just like chartered accountant disqualifications are there, mainly meant for what? Independence. Suppose you are engaged in the formation, management of the company, what you will do? You will tell whatever is good for them. So that expert should be an independent person. Okay. Tomorrow, if it is found that he is in some way connected, gone. The whole thing will become a thing. So expert to give consent in writing. Expert not to withdraw consent until delivery of prospectus for registration. So as far as an expert is concerned, these are the only defenses he has gotten. One, he can say, boss, I never gave my consent. They forged my signature. This is not me. They have put my name, but I have not given my consent. Ask them to show my consent. They show, this is not my signature. See, forged. One. Another defense. I gave my consent, but then I saw these fellows are crooks. Before the issue, rather delivery of prospectus for registration, I have withdrawn. I have sent a withdrawal notice and I have sent it by registered post. See, proof. That's all. These are the only two defenses available for expert. These are the only two defenses available for expert. That I never gave my consent, it was issued without my knowledge or consent. Or after giving my consent, I withdrew it before the prospectus and it was issued without my authority. These are the two defenses available to a consent. Just for it, as you said, Companies Act is for protection of investors, creditors, public interest. This section is to an extent, yes, but not creditors and public interests. I really don't see creditors coming here. This is meant to protect the investor. You can say public interest and investors. Yeah, okay, agreed. If it's a public issue of debentures, creditors. Sorry. Maaf kar dijiye. If it is a debenture, creditor. Absolutely. Potential creditors, potential shareholders, investors. Okay, this is meant to protect public interest also, because generally public opinion about a company is also formed when the public issue and all. When a company goes for a public issue, people think it is a good company. Unfortunately, they think a big company like that. In fact, somebody will say, Mr. X is a very big man, like that. Oh, really? Who said he is a big man? Mr. X only said he is a big man. Mr. X is a very big man. Yeah, really? Who said Mr. X is a big man? Mr. X only is telling he is a big man. Yeah. So that is what prospectus is all about. Yeah. You are yourself telling you are a big man. Yeah. So we have to 100% see whether you are telling the truth or not. Okay. Again, here don't think you means you. Okay. Chalo. Now we come to section 26. Core section. We've already gone into 26. Now I am coming to 26. So core section, important section. Yes, he can. Before registration. Please note that, very important. Up to delivery of registration. Once it is delivered for registration with the registrar, means with the registrar, not SEBI, with the registrar, he cannot withdraw. Okay, he cannot. That's it. It's gone. Okay. Till then, he has a chance. In fact, earlier, the old law gave him one more chance. After the issue of prospectus, he can withdraw. I don't know why they withdrew that now. The reason is, believe me, now that provision is not there. In the old law, a promoter or a potential director or an expert, after the issue of prospectus, but before the allotment, after the issue of prospectus, but before allotment, see what could have happened now. He would have given in one word, one way, but they would have put it in another way. What I meant and what you did, totally different. Therefore, he can say, I am not happy, but now that facility is not there. That facility is not there. Once given, which means the expert should take 100% care to ensure that his opinion is printed in the prospectus in the way in which he intended. That's all. Once he is giving it, he should say, this is how you have to put it. No other word should be used. Nothing else should be used. And he should also verify it before registration. Once that is given for registration, that's it. After that, he cannot withdraw his consent. Suppose he is given in one way. They are sending him a copy of prospectus where the words are not correctly represented. He can tell them, don't do this. I did not say this. You are putting words in my mouth. No, G, no, G, no, G, no. What? No, G, yes, G. That's all. I will withdraw. He can do. But once he has corrected and that wordings are put in the prospectus, he is locked. He cannot withdraw the consent. Okay. So prospectus should be dated, signed. shall state the information and set out reports as specified by SEBI. So the format of the prospectus is prescribed by SEBI. Not here. It is there in the SEBI guideline, which is not in your syllabus. Are you able to understand why I am not taking the prospectus format at all? Because that is there in the final. And there also you don't have to remember prospectus format and all. You simply have to understand the SEBI disclosure norms. That's all. You should be aware of SEBI disclosure norms. You don't have to, entire format of prospectus, you don't have to mug up. Okay. And whatever reports are required by SEBI have to be given. Also, it shall contain declaration as to compliance with Companies Act and statement as to nothing in contradiction to Securities Contracts Regulation Act. Securities SCRA. I'm giving. Sometimes, people see a abbreviation. They may want to know what it is. So I'm telling you, Securities Contracts Regulation Act and SEBI Act. Compliance. And there should be no contradiction. It shall contain a statement regarding consent of expert under section 26(5). Clearly, expert consent should be kept. Otherwise, it won't be registered. If you mention something as purporting to be a statement given by an expert, then that statement of expert should be accompanied by consent of expert. Also shall state that prospectus has been delivered on cover page. That is, it should, on the cover page of the prospectus, it should be clearly stated that a copy of this prospectus has been delivered to the registrar for registration. The minute this prospectus is delivered to the registrar for registration, automatically it becomes a public document. Automatically, doctrine of constructive notice will apply. Also, that cover page should contain the documents which are attached, should be there on top, so that anybody seeing that will know these are all available. And in case it is not there, he can ask. So the public who wants to subscribe now, he is entitled to a copy of the prospectus. He is entitled to a copy of the prospectus. But today, companies don't have to print it. Yeah, it is available on the website in PDF format. You can download it. See, in those days and all, we used to get physical copies. Today, what joy! Everything is available in the websites. You can simply download the PDF. If you are very worried about that, then don't download it from the company website. Download it from SEBI or NSE, National Stock Exchange. Suppose the company is going to be listed on NSE or BSE, that stock exchange website, you will find it. You can download it. So you're a little suspicious. Don't want it from Money Control or from some other website. No problem. Go to or MCA website, you download it. Official. Okay. Believe me, nobody reads the prospectus. Rarely seen an investor who actually read the prospectus. Instead, what they will do, they will read Hindu ka report, Times ka report, Economic Times ka report, Times of India report, Financial Express report. Then they will read all sorts of websites. Some stupid fellow telling something, they'll read. Based on that only they've invested. I've rarely seen a person investing based on a study of the prospectus, valuation of that company. Okay, you might ask me, do I do that? Yes, my dear friends, that's how I invest. Which is why most of the time I do not invest in IPOs. People ask me, Srikanth, you are an investor in the capital market. Why you are not investing in IPO? Because all the IPOs are overvalued. Out of 100 IPOs, 98 are overvalued. The two are not undervalued, they are exactly valued. I hope you understand what I'm saying. See, that company is worth 300 rupees, it is valued at 300 rupees. What joy in buying a company at 300 rupees? It is worth only 300 rupees. I want to buy a company worth 1,000 rupees at 900 rupees or 800 or 700. Then only I'll make money in the long run. I want to buy undervalued company. Market is undervaluing this fellow, but he's got intrinsic value. Then only he becomes my target for acquisition. Whereas most IPOs are either overvalued or in some cases they are exactly valued. Pakka means ballpark near, it will come 100 rupees this way, that way. What joy in buying that fellow? And then what? Nothing. Then I'm like anybody else now. I have to wait for everybody's. That no point in that. Okay, so this is the thing. Kushiji, don't interrupt the class with this type of request in future. And believe me, from now on, I will upload. So whether you ask or not, it is my duty to upload. For example, incorporation, I uploaded just now. You go and see, it will be there. Okay. So, and some students, I'm so happy. You're also, means the minute I upload it, you are eagerly going to download it and study. I'm so happy. Okay, if you're going to do that, don't worry. I will upload it. Give me a margin of some time. Yeah. Immediately, don't expect. I'll keep it. Don't worry. It will come to you. Don't worry. I will, without uploading, tell me one thing, this PowerPoint presentation is for what? For you only. It will come to you. Don't worry. Immediately, see how that immediacy, 5 days later, you will forget it. 10 days later, you won't even know where the PowerPoint is. But now, it is like, Srikanth, give the PowerPoint. Rather, 10 days later, I want you to take this prospectus and read. Not now. Don't read immediately. 10 days later, 1 month later, read the topic. Then only the recall will be there. Immediately, if you read it, yes, you will remember it. But later on, 1 year, 15 days, 6 months later, you will forget it. So you have to reinforce it. That's how I studied. So suppose the teacher teaches today, nothing will happen. Tomorrow you read it, nothing will happen. You will only waste your time. Rather, let it go. I'm telling you the real secret of how I remember things. As Srikanth is teaching, now listen to him. Listen to him. Allow his words to flow. Instead of wasting your time typing this message, you should be listening to me. Shravanam should be going on. Then, take notes. Take notes. Don't simply copy from the slide, but any thoughts that come to you, something important, summarize whatever is said on a paper. That way you will remember better. Have a paper, kagas or kalam, you should have in your hand. If you're simply sitting and looking at me eating popcorn, sorry, that is not the way this should be done. You should be having notebook, pen, writing, whatever I'm telling. Then, sometimes I will say, repeat, this is important, and make a note of that. That way, when you write it now, you'll remember. Then, leave it. Let the classes go on. Next, I'll go to share capital dimension. Even if I'm uploading it, don't read it then. Download it and put it in a folder. 1 month later, you take it up and read. That is how you'll remember. If you think that immediately after the class, you go and study it now, yes, recall will be good. But 6 months later only you have to write the exam, Baba. At that time, you may not remember. So my humble suggestion to you, this is not only to Kushi Gupta ji, to all the students out there. See, there is a technique for studying. Okay, you may do hard work. I'm sure all of you are doing hard work. I have never done hard work. I did smart work. I will not waste my time. Today, Professor taught, today itself, no. That day, leave it here. It will be there, don't worry. Manana, Shravana has happened, then the subconscious mind will keep processing it. Allow it to do it. And Manana, then keep thinking about it. Ask questions, listen. Then later, say 10 days later, 15 days later, take it up. And then do a deep study. And then come. Then work out problems. Go to the practice manual. Prospectus over. That is how you have to prepare for the exam. This is how I have prepared for my exam. So don't worry. Everything in one day you cannot learn. You learn it over a period of time. Today, ask to what is your job? Shravan. Sirf Shravan. Take it into your brain. That's all. Don't worry. Will you give the prospect? Will you give the PPT, sir? When you will give the prospect? So what is happening? Not only Kushiji, lot of people, your mind is wandering. Your mind is wandering. No, mind should focus. Mind should concentrate. Mind should be focused on the learning. Not on what will happen that, sir, what will happen this, sir. No. A focused student with a focused mind, listening to a teacher, sincerely teaching the subject, will learn only by listening. I have learned only by listening from my teacher. 60% of the knowledge of company law I got from my teacher, Professor K. Santaraman, by listening to him. Believe me when I say it. I learned by listening and taking notes. But still, don't worry, the notes will be given to you. See, you are having a checklist. Srikanth notes, prospectus received, share capital received. Then what are you going to do? After all the notes are with you. Okay, checklist, done. Received. Don't worry, it will be given to you. Okay, chalo. Now, this is very, very difficult to understand. Please be with me when I'm giving this explanation, because this is exception. That is, prospectus should be in that format. SEBI ka format, etc. Na? For that, there is a exception. That is, issue of prospectus and form of application to existing members, debenture holders, whether there is a right to renounce or not. See, you are already a listed company and you are issuing prospectus to your existing members and debenture holders. Whether there is a right to renounce or not, whether it's a rights issue or not, you are issuing to your existing members who are already there. They are your members. To them, you are issuing a prospectus. Now, 26(2) will not apply. You understand? The operative word is here. Important word that you need to understand here is you are issuing a prospectus to existing members or debenture holders, right? Because why prospectus is not for 26(2) compliance? 26 compliance is not needed because hey, they are your shareholders. They have all the information that they want. They are not public. Therefore, 26(2) will not apply. This prospectus rule will not apply to that. Similarly, issue of prospectus or form of application related to shares or debentures which are or are to be in all respects uniform with existing shares being quoted or dealt with on a recognized stock exchange. What does that mean? What is the operative important word here for me? Quoted. Means in this example, you are not a listed company. You are not a listed company, but you are issuing a prospectus, but you are issuing it only to existing members and debenture holders. No need to worry. It need not, because such a document would come under the definition of prospectus. Even though it is issued to existing members, it is an announcement, inviting offer from the public. So technically it will be a prospectus, but still, since it is given to existing members or debenture holders, whether there is a right to renounce, whether there is a right to issue or not, it is offered to the existing members or debenture holders, then Section 26 will not apply. Also, you are already a listed company. You are having listed shares or listed debentures. You are issuing fresh issue, meaning you are going for FPO. Further, in those cases, no need for registration, no need for all that. But the format of the prospectus in an FPO will be the same as prescribed by SEBI. Because once you become a listed company, listen to me, once you become a listed company, you will now have dual control. You will not only be controlled by MCA, you will also be controlled by SEBI. So if you are going for a further public offer, no longer MCA is bothered because SEBI will take care of you. So before you go for further public offer, you have to go to the stock exchange. You have to go to SEBI. Then they will ask you to put it in the same format. But under the Companies Act, no complaints for you. Enjoy. Go naked. Because what is the big deal? Better control is there. SEBI is going to control you. Recognized stock exchange is going to catch you. They won't let you do anything unless it is as per the format given by SEBI. So quoted shares, further public offer, no problem. So this is the explanation I have given. So if you understood it, I'll be very happy. But if you still have some doubt, I will clarify. Oh, thank you. Okay, thank you. But I'm thinking that I'm exceeding my limit. But anyway, thank you very much for confirming that. Now, so I hope this is clear. First is an example of an unlisted company issuing prospectus or form of application to its existing members and debenture holders. Second is an example of a listed company going for further issue, further public offer. In which case, no complaints under 26, but his hair is top notch is in the hand of SEBI now. SEBI will take care. Don't worry about that. Don't think that he is going to run without any control. Pakka control will be there. The recognized stock exchange hai na, or SEBI hai, they will catch him. Okay. No prospectus shall be valid if it is issued more than 90 days after the date on which a copy thereof is delivered to the registrar under subsection 26(4). Very interesting and important. This is the reason 90 days is seen as a time for which there could be some degree of, validity. After that, circumstances could change. Am I correct? Circumstances could change. So they say within 90 days, go for issue. Otherwise, what you should do? Otherwise, again, start from the beginning. You have to prepare, go to SEBI, blah, blah, come to ROC, then again another 90 days. So, this is how it is. So, 90 days is the validity, which is why in those days, they used to, because everything will be time bound. And that merchant banker will be sitting on my neck. Srikanth, SEBI is going to declare it tomorrow. You have to be ready, go, be there and present it. Already I would have filed a draft copy. Vetting would have happened and final changes would have been done. This change also would have been everything done. Then on final copy, I will take and file it. And then I will be waiting in the ROC's office to meet the registrar. And then he will call me for a thing. Okay, so what is it? Have you done SEBI approved? Yeah. Okay. Then finally, registered, go. I will take that form from the clerk and I will run. Because once I go and deliver that registration certificate to the merchant banker, my fee will be received. Nothing else. Other than, because this is not something. What? Yeah, this is a livelihood, man. Okay, this is a livelihood. Okay, this is not something for which this is a way of earning a livelihood. What is that? But again, sorry, Jaspreet told about tips. I'm giving one more tip. I started earning. I started working. My articleship period got over in 1987. Then I joined Pricewaterhouse. So technically, I started working from 1987. Okay? No. Though I started working, till date, I have never worked even one day in my life. Till now, I have never worked one day in my life. How? Yes, I have earned a lot of money. I have been a practicing chartered accountant, corporate trainer, consultant, coach. Many things I have done in my life. Okay, but I have never worked even one day in my life. How is it possible? I have never worked even one day in my life. Anybody? Let us see if you have understood my inner meaning. I have never worked even one day in my life. I have never worked. No. You got it wrong, Darshan. The registrar will register it now. From that day, 90 days is there for you to issue, meaning publish, meaning circulate it to the public. You understand? Issue, that is circulating to the public, printing newspaper advertisement, sending it to all the brokers. That should be done within 90 days. The registrar, no, Baba, everything is over. Registrar is chop, tuck, registered. From that date, you have to issue it within 90 days. Yeah, you are right. From 90 days from the date of delivery to the registrar, correct. Within 90 days, it has to be registered by registrar. You are right. Darshan, you are right. That is why it becomes very time bound. In fact, 90 days and all is the upper limit. The merchant banker will be sitting on my head. Maximum 10 days, 7 days, because it will be tight. But up to 90 days, yes, you are right. Darshan, you are right. I deliver it for registration from that day, 90 days. Okay, then it is issued. So you are absolutely correct. I'm sorry, my dear friend. Registrar should register within 90 days, which is why it's very time bound. We have to literally push and we should be alert and go on. Correct, Manav. Absolutely. I have enjoyed everything that I have done. I have had fun. You're missing Rajiv Kumar. Got it. I had fun. I never worked. Okay. I'll do validity of, what is that? Can you explain validity of prospectus? What is that? Which slide? This one, no? I will explain. In fact, I should thank Darshan. Thank you, Darshan, for correcting me correctly. You pointed out. See, there is a date on which I register the prospectus to the registrar for registration. From that date, the prospectus should be issued within 90 days, which means within that 90 days time, the registrar should register it and you have to issue. So, correct. If it is not registered within 90 days or it is not issued, then you have to go again for Again for registration, 90 days, etc., etc. Thank you for that very important correction. Sorry about that. Correct. Beautiful, beautiful. So most of you have got the point about my not having worked correctly. You have understood that I enjoyed. You should also never work in your life. You should earn. You should earn, but never work. So do what you enjoy. You will never work. Enjoy what you do. That is also there. See, delivering prospect for registration is a boring job. Believe me when I say that. But you can make it enjoyable. That is in your hands. Make it fun activity. Make it enjoyable. You'll do it. You have to earn livelihood also. Always, everybody cannot be cricketer, cinema actor. Huh? Some of us have to be chartered accountant also. But cinema actor may not be enjoying his life. I am enjoying my life. I don't know. They are also enjoying, but most of them may not be enjoying. Okay. So, in case there is any one second, Mayur Gupta, if it should be issued to register and public within, yes, sir. The date of filing for registration, from that you count 90 days. Within that 90 days time, it should be registered and also issued to the public. If 90 days is over, then this prospectus will lapse. You have to go for another prospectus, fresh. Correct, Mayurji? So, any contravention of section 26 means non-compliance, not said, whatever. Company will be subject to fine of 50,000 up to 3 lakhs. Any person knowingly a party to issue a prospectus, knowingly a party, like promoter, director, anybody who was given a consent, expert, everybody, any person knowingly a party to issue a prospectus, imprisonment up to 3 years. Both fine and imprisonment. Both fine and imprisonment. For any contravention of section 26. Okay. Bhumika, let's go back quickly. You are giving exact opposite. Exception A is for unlisted. Exception B for listed. Correct? So there is no A, B here. The first one is unlisted. Second one is listed. Unlisted company is issuing a prospectus to the existing members. Then no problem. Listed company is issuing prospectus in respect of similar shares which are already listed, which are being quoted. Listed. So what that is where the quoted word is there. No? Hope you got it, Bhumika. Ulta, you are giving ulta. Ulta. The other way. A is unlisted, B is listed. Got it? Now, earlier, for any person who is knowingly a party, there was a imprisonment up to 3 years. Now that has been removed. Okay, that part has been removed. Imprisonment up to 3 years has been deleted. Okay, and both fine and imprisonment also defeated. Deleted. So whatever I put in red here was there before 21/12/20. Now it is removed. In fact, I could even remove it. I have not removed it. So now only fine, no imprisonment. Now, thank you, Bhumika, for putting an okay there so that I have understood. I am happy that you have understood. Thank you. Now, public issue of securities shall be in dematerialized form. Section 29. Okay. Now, dematerialization we will be talking about when I come to share capital or allotment. I think somewhere I will talk about dematerialization. At this stage, I will give a brief idea about dematerialized form, but actual dematerialization I will teach you in detail. Don't worry. Okay. So, in those days, before the Depositories Act, shares were held in physical form. Shares were held in physical form, meaning printed share certificates were there. We kept it safely. whenever we want to sell the share, I will sell it in the stock exchange. Then I will give delivery of physical certificate to the broker. The broker in turn will go to the exchange. He will give it to the other broker and so on. It was happening. It was a long-winded process. Okay. And the trading itself was not digital. Today, see, in 2023 AD, the story that I'm telling is like old story, Purana wala story, Purana Kahaniya. You cannot even imagine such a life. But I have lived in that world. I started investing in the share market in that world when trading will be happening on the floor physically, meaning they'll be shouting. It's like a brinjal market or, Sabji Mandi, they'll be shouting. Reliance 500, Reliance 500. No, suddenly one fellow will start, Reliance 502, 502. That means if this guy wants to sell, now the price is 502. So if he wants to sell, he'll go 502, okay, chalo, deal. So that price will be concluded 502. Then both of them will exchange slips. One slip will go to the main table, where immediately the price of Reliance will be changed in the board. There will be a big visible board there. One fellow will get up, immediately 500, now he'll make it 502. Then onwards, everybody will become Reliance 502, Reliance 502, then one fellow will go. So that day, at the end of the day, Reliance may end at 520, 530. All this was so bad. Imagine, compare that with our digital today online market. Okay. In those days, in that era, shares were in physical form. Right up to 1990. Post-liberalization, all countries in the world we saw were having shares held in electronic form, whereas only in India, physical form. So, and by then, National Stock Exchange also came, and they wanted to have a electronic trading. So, when all that came, 100%, it became necessary for shares to be converted from physical form to electronic form. This process of converting physical shares to electronic medium is called dematerialization. Dematerialization. Okay. So conversion of physical shares into electronic form. Right. And so anybody who was holding physical share was slowly forced. They made it initially, they said you can also give physical delivery. Then they said if you want to sell the share in any stock exchange, it should be in dematerialized form. Then now they are very clear. They said every company making public offer shall issue securities only in dematerialized form, that is electronic form. Means what does that mean? It means you will not get physical certificate. Instead, you will have to open an account with a depository participant. Through the depository participant, you will open an account with the depository. Your shares will be held by the depository in its records. So the depository will be having huge servers where for each company they'll be having a separate slot, and there they will upload, they will update. So the entire details will be captured there, and whenever you sell your account, they will remove the shares, and to the other account they will transfer it. So it happens electronically. So this part is called dematerialization. More about it later. But right now, I'm giving you a broad idea. Okay. So today, for most of you who are buying shares, this may not sound very strange because the minute you want to invest in share market, the first thing you have to do is open a DP account, depository participant account. Then when you buy Reliance, immediately you will check your app. In your app itself, they'll give you. It will be your account will be credited with. Boss, if I'm sending money to you by GPay, how does it happen? Or when you send money to me by GPay, how does it happen? Are you giving me currency? No. Electronic record is being updated now. My bank electronic record. GPay is, crediting my account with that money. So once you send the money, sir, I have sent you the money. See, yes, I got it. Similarly, I say, Baba, I have sent you the money. Check. I got it, sir. Thank you. So that is same way, shares. Instead of money, shares. Okay. Yeah, we should have a break. It's a good idea. We'll have a small break for about 5 minutes. Nothing wrong. You are entitled to ask for a break. We can have a break for about 5 minutes. Then we will start the session again. Okay. Just confirm that in principle you have understood dematerialization, but the detail part, who is a depository, etc., I will teach you later. Right now, what you should understand, if a company wants to make public offer, shares should be issued only in dematerialized form. But other than listed companies, when you don't want to go for public offer, you have an option. You may issue in dematerialized form or physical form. Okay. If you go for dematerialized form, you are governed by Depositories Act. If you go for physical form, under the Companies Act. So most unlisted companies, public, private, will have physical form. Listed companies, 100% compulsory demat. If somebody is holding shares in a listed company in physical form, nothing. If he wants to sell the share, first thing he has to come surrender the certificate, get it dematerialized, then only he can start his activities. Okay. Otherwise, you cannot trade. Now it's compulsory. All shares in listed companies shall be held only in dematerialized form. Right. Let's have a small break. Right. Sir, break, sir. Okay. So welcome back from possibly a very short break, but then idea is more of a biology break, maybe to pick up a cup of chai and before you come and sit before the system again. Fantastic. Let me get the, yeah. Very good. See, Kavita ji, I am becoming like the Father, the Son, and the ass. Somebody wants a break. Kavita Lamsal is asking, I was enjoying your flow. How come break? Don't worry. Now the flow is started again. Welcome back and be here. Okay. So now later on, when I come to share capital, I will teach you about the two depositories, the actual process of dematerialization and all that. Okay. As of now, please understand, if a company wants to make a public offer through prospectus, the securities offered should be in dematerialized form. This includes offer for sale also. Whether you're making an offer for sale or an IPO or FPO, whatever, the securities should be in dematerialized form. Promoters to hold convertible securities in public offer only in dematerialized form. Later on, we'll be talking about preference shares and debentures, which could be converted into equity. So later on, when I come to share capital, I will tell you more about preference shares, which I'm sure you are aware of, but again, we will see it from another angle. And so preference shares and debentures. Preference shares and debentures could have an option of conversion into equity. These are called convertible securities. So when a promoter is making a public offer of convertible security, that is, please note again, I'm highlighting the word public offer, meaning you are not issuing equity, you are issuing preference shares or you are issuing debentures through public offer. What type of debenture or preference share? Convertible. So when you are making convertible securities, then the promoters, then that security should also be in dematerialized form. Okay. In case somebody is holding securities that should be in physical form, that should be converted into dematerialized form before date of offer. Okay. You are missing the words. Okay, I will highlight the word again. Does it say private placement? No. Private placement will come in this category. Suppose you are an unlisted public company, you are making a private placement, you need not have dematerialization. You can continue to issue shares in physical form. May issue other companies. But if you are a public company which has gone for listing or going for listing, then your shares should be only in dematerialized form. Okay. Right? See, why are you getting confused? Private placement is private placement. No need for dematerialization. If you want, may issue. If you want, you can, but no compulsion. Okay. Private placement, no need for dematerialization. Okay. Even, see, that is where I have to be very, very careful, Ma. In some cases, when you are issuing convertible securities, now I told you now, or non-convertible debentures are to be listed, or non-convertible preference shares, you want it to get listed, then in those cases, that alone will have to be in dematerialized. You understand? Doesn't mean that this private company will become a listed company. It is just that these shares are being held in dematerialized form, non-convertible debentures. Okay. Only for the purpose of, say, when you're issuing debentures, they have to be listed and in dematerialized. For that purpose alone, you have to go for dematerialization. Please get this into your mind now. Private company, private placement, no dematerialization. Public company also no dematerialization unless you want to go for public offer. Public offer. Always, I have highlighted public offer, public offer. If there is no public offer, no need for dematerialization. Now, we come to the various types of prospectus. We have shelf prospectus. I told you, when I come to that, I will teach you. So, shelf prospectus, then we have red herring prospectus, then we have abridged prospectus, and finally, deemed prospectus. So, whenever I explain it, I will first explain the concept, then the law. If you understand the concept, the law is very simple. What is a shelf prospectus? A prospectus in respect of which the securities or class of securities included therein, this is the definition. A prospectus in respect of which the securities or class of securities included therein are issued for subscription in one or more issues over a certain period without the issue of a further prospectus. So, please get this into your head. Shelf prospectus will be useful only when you are issuing debentures or preference shares in one or more issues. There should be a series of issues. Normally, equity shares are never issued in series. Please believe me when I say this. Believe me, normally. So, equity shares are never issued in series. But debentures are issued in series. Meaning, see, my need for funds may not be immediate. Please understand practically, then it will be very easy for you to understand. I am a large company. I'm going for a new project. Now that new project, I need 100 crores. 100 crores. I am bringing 20 crores. I am bringing 20 crores. Right, sir? And I want to borrow money. I don't want to go to bank. I decide to issue debentures. So I go to SEBI. They say, go ahead and issue. And I decide 100 crores. I will issue another 80 crores. I will issue debentures over the next 9 installments. Maybe over the next 4 years, 6 months once, I will go for issue of 8 crores worth of debentures. 100 rupee debenture at par 8 crore, 100 rupee 8 crore. Okay. Now, so this is a public issue. I want to go to public and get money. No problem. My project is a good project, viable project. No issues there. Whatever it is. Or, okay, I will do one thing. Promoter is putting out of 100 crore. Promoter is putting 20 crore. No problem. Balance another 30 crore I am taking from public through a normal prospectus. Through a normal prospectus, I make a public issue. Oversubscribed. I get my money. 50 crore available with me. Now another 50 crore I need now. That I am going to the for debentures. Now when I go for debentures, what I will do? I will issue not in one shot, but in five times. Why? Because because my need is not there now. My project is going to be over. My project is going to be over 5 years. Now, that every time I need money only, I'll let issue. No, otherwise, why should I pay interest to these guys? So what I will do, I've already got 50 crore. With that land purchase, building going on, construction going on, no problem. Now suddenly I need money. So immediately I will take another, I will issue debenture. How much? Out of 50 crore, I'll issue 10 crore. Then another 6 months later, another 10 crore. Till final end of project, everything over working capital. For that, another 10 crore. So 100 crore project, 5 years or 3 years, I've got it through. This is the reality of corporate management, financial management. What I have now described to you is how corporate financial managers behave. This is how tomorrow you will have to raise funds for your company. Once you become that level now, you will have to do it. Well, otherwise, why will they pay you 4 lakhs per month or 5 lakhs per month? Yeah. Tell me, or 1 crore per annum, why will they pay? So that you will do all these things. Now, while doing that, I am raising this 50 crore now. How I am raising? I am raising it through a series of issues, one or more issues over a certain period. Now, every time I want to issue a debenture to the public or preference share to the public, I have to file prospectus, issue, no need. So they say, in these cases, don't worry. If you issue prospectus once, it is enough. Once you issue the prospectus, that prospectus is called shelf prospectus. It will be in the shelf. Thereafter, whenever you go for further issues in that series, one more issue, no need to issue further prospectus. No need. This shelf prospectus is enough. In case there is any change in the financial position in this period, that alone you highlight through an information memorandum. It's a simple thing, na? It is meant for convenience. There is nothing complicated about this. Once you understand the project concept, so what you will do, first time when you want 10 crore, you will file a prospectus, pakka, normal prospectus, but you will say, my dear ROC, this is shelf prospectus. So the ROC will put it in the shelf. Shelf means what? In the library, you go and read the book, na, where is it? Shelf me. So whenever you want, you can go and take it and read, na. In your house, you are having your textbooks, na, where? Shelf me. Why? Whenever you want, you can take it and read it. So that is always available in the shelf. Subsequently, when I want to go for one more issue of debentures, what I will do, I will not issue fresh prospectus. The old shelf prospectus is there. Any change in the financial position only I will publish in the form of information memorandum. If no change is there, I will simply say no change in the financial position. Whatever I have stated in the shelf prospectus is valid. But suppose, in the meantime, 1 year is over, audited balance sheet has come, then I will include that also and give and say financial statements have changed. We have given the additional financial statement for 23 March. Kindly go through it. Otherwise, no change. Everything is like this. You can go ahead. Maybe there is an improvement in my financial position. Whatever. If there is not an improvement also, it will be stated. So that the fresh people who buy now, they will read the shelf prospectus. Along with that, they will keep the information memorandum. Together, they will read form and opinion. That is all. So shelf prospectus is issued once. Then there won't be any further issue of prospectus for other issues in that series. So this is very convenient when a company regularly makes issue of securities, mainly debentures. This will not be used for equity. So if you give an equity example, you are only confusing yourself. Maximum I might issue preference shares in this way. Even that rare. Debentures, yes. Because I gave an example now how it will happen. If it issues shelf prospectus, it need not issue a fresh prospectus for every time a new series is issued. The company may file a shelf prospectus with the registrar at the stage of first offer. Then a validity period of not exceeding 1 year shall be specified. So the shelf prospectus will be valid for 1 year. That is compulsory. Validity is 1 year, not our choice. Validity is 1 year. The validity period shall commence from date of opening of the first offer. I make the issue of prospectus. In the prospectus, we will clearly state validity period. Okay, validity period. 1 year from the date of opening. When you are Darshanji, when you are downloading that, all of you, why only Darshanji? All of you download the Tata Technologies prospectus. There you will see opening date, issue opens on, issue closes on. They will give. Maximum 30 days, they will give definite, or maybe 10 days, 15, minimum 15 days. Issue should be open. So that issue will be open. That opening date is called date of opening. From that day, it will be valid for 1 year. Okay, the shelf prospectus is valid for 1 year. There is no time limit for issue because once you register it, the same 90 days and all. See, shelf, the first time when you go for shelf prospectus, the same rules relating to prospectus will apply, Baba. Everything will be same. 90 days, etc., etc., etc. Once issued, from the date of opening, this shelf prospectus will be valid for 1 year. It's a convenience now. So this is called shelf. Now what happens? The legal principle here is disclosure. The applicants remitting subscription money, No, we are continuing. No further prospectus is required during the validity period for subsequent offers. Meaning, once a shelf prospectus is issued, for 1 year, I need not issue fresh prospectus. I can keep on taking money by giving fresh offers. The shelf prospectus stays on the shelf as it were and is always available for the public to view. Now, company should file information memorandum in form PAS2, Prospectus and Allotment of Securities. Don't worry, that abbreviation will be usually the first letters of the name of the chapter. So the name of this chapter 3 is Prospectus and Allotment of Securities. Prospectus and Allotment of Securities, PAS. So form PAS 2. That should be filed 1 month prior to every fresh offer. So if you want to make a fresh offer, you have to file information memorandum. Even if there is no change, you have to say there is no change. The information memorandum should contain all material facts regarding changes in financial position, which means you might have to give a balance sheet as on that date of information memorandum, current balance sheet. And whatever was the original shelf prospectus last balance sheet, from that day to now, what are the changes? You have to mention. Major changes in financial position occurring. Let's see what to be given and all, very clearly given in PS2. Don't worry about that. You have to give. And common sense, suppose you have got some contingent liability, you have to mention that. Suppose you got some additional debt, you have to mention that. Whatever. The concept, the legal principle here is disclosure. Any applicants remitting subscription money shall be intimated about the changes in financial position, because that guy is reading only the shelf prospectus. If there is any subsequent change, disclosure should be there. So, in case after seeing that information memorandum, they see, hey, this company is taking on more debt, I'm not interested. Then, even if they have made the application, they have the right to withdraw the application. If so, the company shall refund all monies received within 15 days. Now, all information memoranda shall be deemed to be a part of the prospectus. So the prospectus should be read along with the information memorandum. It's a very nice concept. It is more for convenience. The idea is commercial convenience. There is nothing in this beyond commercial convenience. A lot of companies issue shelf prospectus. To my knowledge, L&T has done it many, many times. And most infrastructure companies have seen issue shelf prospectus and they raise funds. You can check out. Okay. So this is shelf prospectus. Any doubt on this? I'm sure not. If you have, you can raise. Now moving on to red herring prospectus, RHP. I may abbreviate it as RHP, red herring prospectus. Friends, why it is called red herring prospectus? God only knows. Don't ask me. I have been asking so many people, nobody knows. I also don't know is because the word red herring has a totally different concept altogether. Before I go into what is red herring prospectus, let me tell you what is the issue here. In 1992, SEBI comes. SEBI gets its power in 1992, post-liberalization. Till 1991, when I wrote my ACS final examination, I wrote my ACS final examination in 1991, June. 1991, December, there was no SEBI for me. In my syllabus, no SEBI. In fact, SEBI has not come. SEBI comes only in 92. In 91, there was a gentleman called Controller of Capital Issues. See, you might ask me, sir, why are you telling this Purana stories and all that? I have to. Only then you will understand this whole concept. So in 1991, there was this gentleman called Controller of Capital Issues. Spelling also very funny. C-O-M-P. C-O-M-P-T. Controller of Capital Issues. Whatever that fellow was, that was very, very rigorous in the old pre-liberalization era control economy, where people were not allowed to go for public issue. Whereas post-liberalization, we want to enter free market economy. Therefore, we want more public issue. So the first thing they did was they they dismantled CCA. I wrote my exam on CCA principles. My final exam I got my silver medal in corporate laws, corporate laws, other laws, advanced corporate law, other laws. I got an award, silver medal, but that was given into old law, MRTP Act, CCA. Now nothing is there. None of those FEMA, none of those laws is there now. Completely changed post-liberalization. Anyway, but the concept is simple. They wanted free pricing of security. What is that? Free pricing, meaning the company is at liberty to decide what is the premium. Earlier, the CCA wala was fixing the price. That CCA fellow was fixing the price. Idiot was fixing the price. I don't know how he got, only knows. So rarely you got this type of premiums and all, which means many companies were undervalued and sold, including Reliance and all. Okay, which is the correction possibly which happened in 97 and all. Ketan Pere correction happened because of that. But post-liberalization, 92 SEBI regime, companies were allowed to freely price. So SEBI had nothing to do with price. SEBI will only go through the prospectus and put risk factor. Pricing was you and the merchant banker. It was like any other pricing. Suppose you are pricing a fast-moving consumer good, how carefully you will price it. You have to be careful because if you put it too high, market will reject under subscription. Suppose you put it too low, you become the loser. Nah? So pricing is so difficult. And that is why merchant bankers are experts in that. They don't only see the valuation, they also see what the market will bear, and so on and so forth. So the point I'm trying to make is, it becomes a guessing game. So how do I come to some kind of a clarity? So many companies made a mistake. For example, Videsh Sanchar Nigam Limited, BSNL, badly underpriced itself. The great Maruti Udyog Limited, badly underpriced. And they came out with the price of, I forget what it was, 25 bucks or 35 bucks premium, Maruti Udyog Limited. Can you imagine? I applied for the share. It was a red herring, the first red herring prospectus. Early, and they gave a price band. I gave the lower price band and I lost it. I didn't get Maruti Udyog share at 40 rupees. For IPO. Later on, I bought it. At, I think 900,000 rupees. I bought it later in 2009. But original Maruti Udyog, I applied, didn't get. Why? Because I selected the lower band. But the idea of red herring prospectus is you go for, don't give the price. You only send the prospectus. All other particulars you give, numbers, everything you give, pakka. And you float it to the QIB, qualified institutional buyers. You send it to them. And they will give them time. They will go through it. They will arrive at their own valuation. You ask them for bid. Don't ask them for application. At this stage, you are not asking for application. The red herring prospectus does not include complete particulars of quantum or price of the securities. That is, don't tell how many securities you're going to give. And don't tell what is the price. Just send, that is blank. Everything else you give. Complete transparent details. So that the qualified institutional buyers, they are highly efficient people. They are NBFCs, all big shots, mutual fund, asset management company, all those fellows. So they will go through it and decide, this is the price I can buy. So they will send you the, prices. This is called bookmaking process. Okay, this is called bookmaking process, not bookkeeping. Bookkeeping is what we do, writing accounts. Bookmaking. Okay, so sorry, not bookmaking. Bookmaking is where for in the race course now, for horses there will be a bookmaker who will give you the odds. This is book building. So the process by which you circulate the red herring prospectus to these QIBs and HNIs, then they give you a bid. They will say, we are willing to subscribe for 10 lakh shares at 300 rupees. Another QIB says, we are willing to subscribe for 20 lakh shares, 320 rupees or 400 rupees, whatever. So you get a lot of bids with the different quantums and different prices. So by and large, you will know what is the ballpark. You understand? So the company is able to come to some kind of an assessment about the demand and the price band. Are you able to understand? This is a very crude method, but what else to do? How do I be sure? Because ultimately, I'm depending on these guys to subscribe. And if they say, so none of these bids is binding on the bidder. He is only sending the bid. He can always take back the bid. But if once finally the company and the book builder, who will be the category 1 merchant banker, they will sit and finalize the final price band. This is what happened for Maruti Udyog. After the QIBs and HNIs had finalized, now Maruti Udyog ka price band. Price band means there will be one lower price and an upper limit. Lower limit price, upper limit price. So then these again applications will be taken. This time it will be proper application. Once you say you will take, you have to take. Are you able to understand? But the bids are given only with a view to finding out a price. This is why red herring prospectus facilitates the price discovery process. Okay, so this is happening, and it's a good method, and it has come about because of the liberalization and the free pricing of securities, which is why in a depressed market, when the market is in the low end, rarely you will find IPO. Rarely you will find IPO. Whereas once the market starts booming, like now, from now on, 2023 to 2027, you are going to see so many IPOs. So many IPOs are going to come. Why? Because market momentum is there. So everybody will get good price. There will be a lot of appetite for shares. All these QIBs and all sitting on huge funds, they will now sell. They will sell gold, they will sell government bond, and they will come to share market. They'll start buying at highly priced valuations. They will buy these IPOs, maybe make a little bit of money till 27, and then 27, 28, collapse. Everybody will collapse, and then bloodbath. Okay, whatever. And I'll be standing in the corner watching, like R.K. Lakshman's Common Man. I'll be standing and watching all these fellows. I would have made my money in 27. I would have sold and come out of the market at 27. My money will be safe. Then I'll be watching these fellows. Bloodbath, they'll be committing suicide, running around, going mad. But what to do? That is their problem, not mine. Simply like, I'm sure you've seen R.K. Lakshman's Common Man. I'll be looking at them. Okay, and not knowing why are they doing like this. Anyway, having said that, have you understood what is red herring prospectus? It is meant for price discovery process. Once the book building process is over, the bids are received from QIB, and also HNI, high net worth individual. Okay, so these are things. No fees will be charged by the QIBs and all. No, because see, basically the QIBs and HNIs, their goal is to invest in companies. So if you are one of the potential companies, they would love to get you. See, there will be guys paid salary in that company whose job is to evaluate red herring prospectus and come out with suggestions on bids. Then there will be a committee. The QIB will have a committee, or the HNI will have a portfolio advisor. That donkey will tell the HNI, or the HNI himself, like, our late lamented, what is it? That's what is it? Akash Airline ka Junjunwala. Okay, so Rakesh, he will decide. HNI, Rakesh Junjunwala, he will decide. He will decide, I am buying. I'll buy 10% of your company. This is the price I'll pay. No problem. So Rakesh Junjunwala will buy. So that is, once we get such numbers, we know for sure, okay, Rakesh Junjunwala has said he will buy my company share at $600. Chalo. That seems to be a good one. Then around that ballpark, we will build. So I've explained QIB 100 times. Once more I'm telling, one more time I'm telling, watch my mouth, listen. QIB, qualified institutional buyer. Okay. HNI, high net worth individual. QIB example, LIC, State Bank of India, qualified institutional buyer. All the institutional buyers are there, NBFCs. Okay. Where will you find the official list of QIB and HNI? Just go to SEBI website or search in Google, list of qualified institutional buyer. One huge list will come, or you will be directed to SEBI website. HNI. See, this QIB and HNI should get registered with SEBI. And for that, they should have minimum capital norm and all is there. All criteria are there. And only then they will be registered. So all those registered QIBs, we will send to them. Okay. Qualified institutional buyer. HNI, high net worth individual. Mayur, I have already explained information memorandum with a lot of examples. See, I am issuing a shell prospectus. Let us say I issued it on December 31, 2022. Now at that time, the balance sheet of 22 would have been given. Subsequently, what happens? 1 year validity hai na. So in between what my audited 23 figures have come now. So there is a material change in the financial position that has to be disclosed in the information memorandum. That is all. Beyond this, how you will want me to give an explanation, I don't know. Okay. That's all one example I've given you now. So what you should do in the information memorandum, you should give the summarized balance sheet of 23 March audited. And also major changes you have to tell. Debt has gone up by so much. Contingent liability has been incurred. Possibility is there. Whatever. So disclosure. Okay. Got it, G? Hope Mayur is clear. Okay. Now the red herring prospectus should be issued before the issue of a prospectus. And that will be filed with the registrar at least 3 days prior to the opening of the subscription list and the offer. Then, see, the red herring prospectus will have the same obligation applicable to a normal prospectus, right? Except it won't contain quantity of shares offered and price. Then it will, once we get all the bids, then you will file a normal prospectus. In that normal prospectus, you have to highlight any differences between the red herring prospectus and this, because you have received the bids from QIB, etc., based on red herring prospectus. Suppose there is a difference between the red herring prospectus and this, that has to be highlighted. You got it? That has to be highlighted as variation in the prospectus. Okay. Now, so we have seen red herring prospectus. Correct. Bhumika is correct. Book building process is don't say decide. Rather use the word I have used here. It's a price discovery process. Finally, who decides the price? The company and the category 1 merchant banker. See, for every public issue, there will be one manager to the issue. Okay. He will be a merchant banker who will be registered with SEBI. There are categories of merchant bankers depending on the net worth, experience and all. So this guy, you have to have a category 1, or I think now these categories are gone. There is no category 1, category 2 and all. He should be registered with SEBI. So that registered SEBI ka merchant banker will be there and that fellow will decide. Finally, pricing will be decided by that guy and the owner, the promoter. So the promoter's greed and the merchant banker's need will decide your loss. Sorry. The promoter's greed and the merchant banker's need will combine and fight with each other. And finally, some ethical consideration still prevailing between them. They will price it in at an atrocious price. Then you will also see the public, there will be all write-ups and all. See, the prospectus will very much be there giving information, but nobody will see it. They will only see the press report. And I have myself given press report to the press and got it published. All Dupakur I given. And they will publish. Whatever you say, they will. Times of India will publish it. I'm not joking. Unethically, they will do. Except the Hindu and business line. There they won't do. Other than that, every fellow will do anything you want. Just call him for a press conference, he will give it. I'm sorry, this is not, I'm not trying to malign these fellows, but that is why I stopped reading newspaper totally. I don't read newspapers. Believe me when I say that. I don't read news at all. Forget newspapers. What? If any news is needed, WhatsApp fellows are there, Facebook fellows are there, Google is there. They are pushing it to me. Why should I read? When I need it, it comes to me. Or if nothing, my wife is sitting at home, only going through Facebook, Instagram and, all that WhatsApp and all. She's getting continuous information feed. Suddenly, when I'm having my breakfast, she will tell, Shrikant, Finance Act has been passed in Parliament. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Madam Ji. So I will know. That's all. Why should I read newspaper? Information is coming from so many people who are providing it to me. I don't waste my time reading these stupid newspapers who give all useless information. But if at all I read only Business Line and the Hindu. Because somehow between the best of the worst, I'm not saying they are God. I am saying at least some reliability I will give. Of course, this is regarding the factual aspects of the news. About the editorial, all of them are opinionated. I don't want to get their thoughts. But at least factually, some verification will be done by the Hindu. They won't publish anything and everything. Again, once you are expert in the English language, you can word it in such a way that you can tell the truth without telling the truth. You can tell the truth without telling the truth. So that they believe something totally different. Sorry, the idea is not to confuse you, but to help you. Anyway, moving on. Abridged prospectus. See, first in those days, prospectus used to be every application along with that prospectus used to be given. Every application, one prospectus. Hey, prospectus is having 50 pages, 60 pages printing, and I will be issuing lakhs and lakhs of application. I cannot print lakhs and lakhs of prospectus. 76 pages. So they said, don't. Instead, you print abridged prospectus, meaning a memorandum containing such salient features of a prospectus as may be specified by SEBI. So it's like a one-page, single-page summary of the prospectus. This is called abridged prospectus. So every application for subscription of securities should be accompanied by abridged prospectus. In fact, they further relaxed it. They said for every 2 applications, 1 abridged prospectus. So the printing itself will be like this. 2 applications with perforation, 1 abridged prospectus. So you can tag 2 advertisements or 2 applications, 1. Idea is simple. The guy who's getting the application, somehow you should force him to look at the prospectus. In spite of that, these fellows, they will tear the prospectus, abridged prospectus, throw it, take the application and go. They won't read the prospectus. Never I will read the prospectus. Why? It's anacharam. I will not touch it. I will only read newspaper report. I will read Google report, but I will not read prospectus. Okay. Now, so abridged prospectus is that. Today, it has lost its context. Because PDF pe hai ya, boss, this device I can just download, Baba. And any 100, 200 pages I can download and read on my Kindle reader or whatever. So today, this whole printing thing has lost its significance. So abridged prospectus has lost its significance. One more thing. Today, nobody is applying with physical form. It is not possible. Today, SEBI has made it online. So if you want to apply for an IPO, through either you will go to the company ka website or the issuing how there will be a guy, who's called the share allotment share transfer agency will be there. That fellow will he will have his own website. Company will have their own website. Your DP will have a website. Wherever you want, you can go, enter. They will ask for your DP and all. Then they will ask how many shares you are applying. Say, that's all. All your details are there with the DP. You don't have to fill up forms and all that. Everything is available. They will populate it and they will send it to the company. So today, no need for any physical application also. Because once you sign in through the DP, your DP pin will be there. Your ID will be there. Your PAN number will be there. Everything will be there. They will take everything from the DP. Today, everything is online. There is no need for you to, go for this. Okay. In spite of that, this is there for your information. Abridged prospectus is a prospectus containing salient information. It is a abridged, means made small. Abridged means made small, made concise, made brief. Brief. So it will contain salient features. Salient means important. So all the important features of a prospectus will be there, but it will be smaller size, abridged. Okay. That's all. Today, this abridged prospectus has lost its relevance. Believe me when I say. Now, suppose a man is being given abridged prospectus. He wants the full prospectus. If he is requesting, you have to give it to him. Today, it is not at all a problem, boss. You want prospectus? Go to my website, download. 2 minutes ka job hai. Why are you wasting my time? Go on. Now you go. You can, as somebody is talking to me, you can go download Tata Technology ka prospectus. Abito, you can do it. As you're talking to me, you can do it. The complete prospectus. Okay. Lastly, deemed prospectus. If I have time, I will cover it. If not, I will stop today. But tomorrow morning, we have a class at 7 a.m. 7 baje tak. 7 baje se 9:30 tak. Am I correct? I think my Hindi is not bad. So we have from 7 o'clock to 9:30. We have a class. At that time, I will tell. Because deemed prospectus is a difficult concept to understand. And sometimes they do ask you question. Okay. So at that time, we will take it up. Tomorrow, we will take up deemed prospectus. And if we can complete the topic tomorrow, like we will try. Otherwise, another class when I will cover. See, tomorrow, I will also be uploading one assignment. Tonight also, I will upload an assignment on preliminary. Tomorrow, we will, inshallah, take up those things, and we will try to do it. See, deemed prospectus actually is fairly simple concept. But if I take it up now, at the fag end of the session, you might feel tired. So what I will do, I will stop. Abhi tak I'm stopping, and tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., we will meet and we will have a further continuation of this topic, prospectus and allotment of securities. Thank you for the wonderful participation, good questions. Thank you, Darshan, for clarifying that point regarding registration of prospectus, and very good. Thank you. Bye.